Now, what did you ask me?
I said, please, I can have a drink.
You have a drink right there. Okay, looky here. I walked out. Well, I went to the store earlier. Come out, and there's liquid on the ground. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to change a water pump, which is fairly simple on a Toyota 1994 Toyota pickup truck. What I did was I looked around, I looked at all the hoses, checking for leaks anywhere and everywhere, and I've got a definite leak. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. See that? Definite leak directly under the water pump. The water pump is connected to the fan. That's where it is. So first thing we need to do is we need to undo the bolts to the fan, get the fan off. Then we can loosen up the bolts to the alternator right here, loosening it up so we can get the belt off. Once we get the belt off, then there's a series of bolts around the water pump that we're going to take off. So let's get to it. I want to show you where I'm starting from. Right here, we go over the radiator and we look straight down. You take those 4 bolts off and it falls off. See how easy that is? Okay, there's 4 little bolts that go around it. You'll take the one off and then you'll turn it, take the other one off, and then you got to push on both sides at the same time with 2 hands, and you can pop this out. Once you get that popped out, the rest of this comes off really easy as well, and that should allow you to take this belt off as well. Alright, now that I have it out, you can see over here, starting over here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bolts to getting this out. Now, I open mine up. It's not my water pump. It's the gasket that blew, but this is the same way that you're going to change out a water pump, so I'm still doing the video. My gasket is just falling apart. I don't know who did this, or if that's just, you know, a paper gasket. It's really bad. Anyway, I'm going to have to clean all this off. And get in there and all around the front side of all that, clean all that off with a small scraper. Get all of the old gasket off. Get all the gasket off of this one, and when you get your new pump will look like this, and you'll put it in there the same way with your gasket and put it all in there. Me, I got to go one step further. I'm going to make a gasket. So that's next. Alright, here's my water pump. All clean. I got everything off of it. Wire brushed it a little bit, used a scraper a little bit, and got it all nice and clean. I went ahead and cleaned the outside because this is almost what your new one's going to look like. It'll be a little bit brighter than this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a very light coating of engine assembly lube. I'm going to put a light coating on this, real light and thin. Then I'll put my gasket maker. Okay, you can buy some of this stuff at your parts store. It's specifically designed for gaskets. And then what I'll do is I'll end up pressing this down to it. That way it'll make this imprint onto the gasket. So let's do that. Of course, I'm going to have to put a hole right here on the gasket. That way that'll go through it. And there we have it. I put a little bit of grease on there, just real thin. And I was able to copy it over to that. Now I just got to cut that out with an X-Acto knife or a straight edge knife and get that out. Now my wife brought me her X-Acto knife, so I didn't have to use that thing. And oh, look, yes. So cut the imprint out to be exact. That way all your holes line up and everything is where it's supposed to be. Let's go put this back in the truck. Just for added security, I put a little bit. See, look, when I say a little bit, I just barely coated it. And what that'll do is that'll also help to hold the gasket in place until you can get all your bolts in there. So just make sure everything lines up. Oh, and I forgot to mention, all these holes, the way that I made them was I used a handheld hole puncher. So you don't have to cut. around the little hole. Makes it a whole lot easier to make your gaskets that way. And oh, look, yes. So cut the imprint out to be exact. That way all your holes line up and everything is where it's supposed to be. Let's go put this back in the truck. Just for added security, I put a little bit. See, look, when I say a little bit, I just barely coated it. And what that'll do is that'll also help to hold the gasket in place until you can get all your bolts in there. So just make sure everything lines up. and this one had to be a little bit bigger. So see, I just used the hole puncher and went doot 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 around it. There we go. Get your water pump in there and put a couple bolts in, and then put a couple more and a couple more, but don't tighten them all the way down just yet. Get them all in there, and then that way you can do those center ones first, and then just kind of stagger, go to the top and then the bottom and over here and over there, and just lightly get them all the way down, and then call your parts store and find out what those are supposed to be torqued at. I'm not sure what they are, so I'm going to have to do that myself. I'll probably just make sure that they're just tight, and that's all I'm going to do. But when your water pump's in there, so let me get those tightened up. Alright, tighten up your bolts. Put the that black thing on there, and then put the fan on the outside of that. Loosen your radiator, loosen your alternator. I'm tired of this. And then put your belt on, tighten it up, and you're good to go. You've just installed a water pump. You alright? Alright, go ahead and install a water pump. See, and your wife has to be right there behind you watching you. Helps everything out go smoothly like that. She always asks you for help and does everything for you. Alright, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, comment, rate, give me a thumbs up. If I missed anything, please leave comments below for anybody else that might be trying to do this. Once again, this is on a 94 Toyota pickup truck.